I bet you didn't know these creepy facts that'll give you nightmares. 20% of children report hearing voices. Some say it's explained by having an imaginary friend. Some people say young children are more in tune with the afterlife. A homicide expert has determined that there is likely to be over 2,000 active serial killers at large right now. According to the same guy, there are 27,000 murders that aren't even in FBI files. Former chief of FBI's elite serial crime unit said in 2015, a very conservative estimate is that there are between 25 and 50 active serial killers in the United States. There are about 40 supervolcanoes around the world. They are capable of taking billions of lives. And we're about 24,000 years overdue for an eruption. One supervolcano in Yellowstone National Park has a magma chamber that Tokyo could fit inside of. There is a brain-eating amoeba that lives inside lakes and rivers in the United States. The single-celled organism travels up the nose, right directly into the brain, where it starts to break down the tissue. I bet you didn't know about Nephilims. This idea came from Peepaw Ghost. They sent me a donation, then told me what they would like for me to do a TikTok on. I'll tell you how you can do the same at the end of this TikTok. So first of all, what is a Nephilim? It was first depicted in the Hebrew Bible, described as a very large giant. And the Hebrew Bible explains that they are fallen angels. Now maybe you have heard of them, but I know you didn't hear of this. The United States military had supposedly slain one of these beasts. In 2002, U.S. Special Forces were in Afghanistan. A group of soldiers went missing while in a remote, mountainous area. When they failed to make contact with them on the radio, they sent out special ops to go find them. While high up in the mountains, while they didn't find the lost soldiers, they found a Nephilim. It was supposedly 13 feet tall, had fiery red hair, 2 sets of teeth, and 6 fingers on each hand, all while having a foul stench of death. It took 30 consecutive seconds of continuous fire to take down this beast. After they took down this beast, they loaded it up into a helicopter and flew it off, where it was then loaded into a transport plane and never seen again. Now they say that everyone who witnessed this had to sign an agreement, saying they could not disclose what they had just witnessed. But eventually the soldiers broke their silence. There's actually a full interview from one. They said this has nothing to do with the military. This has everything to do with people needing to know the truth. So what do you think? Do you think that there really was one of these creatures hiding away in remote mountaintops and just happened to be discovered by the U.S. military? Let me know what you think. Have a specific story or subject you'd like for me to cover on my TikTok? Here's how you can do so. You'll send a donation to my Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. You can also use the tip option on TikTok if it's available. Just make sure to include your username in the notes. I'll follow you back and send you a message. Then you can tell me what you would like for me to do a TikTok on. I bet you didn't know a Chinese man with Down syndrome was abducted and his body was sold to substitute for another body due to be cremated. The family hired someone to find a substitute body that could be cremated in place of the relatives. Before the relative died in 2017, he told his family that he wanted a traditional burial, but in some regions in China, they are banned. The family assumed that the man that they hired would just find another dead body. They didn't expect him to commit a murder to fulfill the deal. He spotted a man with Down syndrome picking litter from the street. He persuaded him to get into the car with him and then gave him alcohol until he passed out. He then took the victim's body and placed it into a coffin, and days later it was passed on to the family in exchange for money. The family paid 107,000 yen, which is about 16,300 US dollars. 90,000 yen went to the accused, while the rest went to the middleman, who has since died. The family then proceeded to have the coffin and the body cremated, pretending that it contained the body of their own relative. The relative's body was then buried in secret in a traditional way. In 2017, after the man with Down syndrome was reported missing, it took police more than 2 years to uncover this gruesome crime and track down the accused. In September of 2020, the murderer, who went by the name of Huang, was given a suspended death sentence, which he appealed. This was eventually dismissed, and a suspended death sentence was upheld. This means, if he doesn't reoffend after 2 years, the sentence will be commuted to life in prison. The family who hired Huang were found guilty of insulting a corpse, were not handed a prison sentence.